Shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Akakadash, Yahweh, your true name, Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, be named for his only begotten Son, the world eagerly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elders, the great millstone, that taught us truth and will well, and salutations to hopefully pushing us truth and honesty, sincerity. This is Brother Yahweh Sop. Come to listen to the spirit power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, another update, end times, and events. Hey, I just wanted to speak on this real quick, man. Yesterday, I was, feeding my seeds. Got some youngins, and they wanted some taco salad. So I said, okay, cool. We'll get y'all some stuff to make it. Okay, and stop by the store. And it's been a while since I made this for them, and I haven't really paid attention too much. And everybody's kind of complained about it before, as far as the amount you get when you purchase. Okay, so I wanted to share this. This is the current state condition in the United States on how bad inflation is. What you're seeing is two different bags that I got. Okay, I have one version that's like a protein chip that I got for myself because I'm basically like on a high protein, low carb diet. All right, so completely separate, two different companies, and this is from another company. This is what I seen immediately when I opened the bag. And I know everybody's seen this. I'm not the only one that's complaining about it, but it's gotten to the point to where, I wanted to speak on it because it shows you the state condition of America, that a famine is certainly getting ready to hit, and how hard times are. Food is expensive. Now the price for this bag right here has gone up. It didn't go cheaper. It's gotten worse from last year. I remember 2 years ago buying the same bag. It was just like a couple bucks. Now it's basically double the price, and I opened it and it's completely empty. Like, I remember, as a kid, you get stuff like this, and this is how it looks after, it's almost gone, after everybody has shared it, is eating some. You get to the bottom of the bag, and this is most common how it looks. No, this is how it was when first opening it. Now, granted, I did crush them up a little bit because, like I said, I was making taco salad for my boys, but I didn't even crush them up that much. Okay, so it might have been just a tiny bit more than this, but then keep in mind, this is a big family bag. Okay, that's how bad shit is. So they're charging us here in America more money for food and giving us less than half the amount that should be in there. Okay. Now this other bag here, this is just one of those small handheld bags. All right, and like I said, completely different company. So this is across the board on what they're doing. They're raising the prices on food and putting less in there because this place is going down. Okay, the U.S. dollar is about to crash. All right, and so they're increasing the price of the food and giving you less quality and less amount of it. This is nuts, man. Like, this looked like somebody had been snacking on it, for the past 20 minutes. And then, they look down in the bag, see how much they have left. And then, they would look at that. But no, this is fresh opening it. How bad it is. This is what your money in the United States gets you. Okay. So, famine is part of prophecy. And so it's definitely on the way. And I'm noticing the price of bread is going up. The price of meat is going up, and it's kind of fluctuating, go up and down, but they're cutting a lot of corners. Okay, and as this war between the United States and Iran intensifies, you can expect the price of this stuff to go up even more. Okay, because the cost of fuel is going up. So the companies that are sending these products to the grocery stores we go to the shop and pick them up at, they have to pay more money in gas, which means they're going to have to compensate for that additional cost. They're going to have to raise the prices on the products that they're providing. So the food is going to become more expensive, and it's going to be so bad that nobody's going to be able to afford it. You know, so you got more and more people. I'm starting to notice it's catching on. Like me myself, I've raised chickens over the past couple years. For the egg production, and I remember when I first got them, there was maybe one or two people in the neighborhood that me walking around the neighborhood that I noticed that they had chickens. Okay, because I would hear like the rooster crowing. So it was on my particular block, like it was like the houses behind me on that row. There was one person that was raising chickens. Now there's like five or six. Okay, so people are turning to try to provide it for themselves because of how hard times were. Because you had that one point of time where eggs were extremely expensive. You know, so people are trying to do what they can, man. And I was even contemplating on whether or not I wanted to start another garden this year because it's a lot of work. I just don't know if I'm gonna have the time to have the time to keep up with it. Just to try to balance it out so I won't have to spend as much at the grocery store. But even then, you got to wait months before that produce is big enough for you to harvest it. So you still got to pay all that money in the time between. And then you have a short window that you can kind of harvest. And then winter hits here in this region pretty bad. So you can't grow year round unless you got a specific kind of greenhouse set up. But hey, what you're looking at here is the future of America, all right? As far as famine is coming on the way. Okay, this is Matthew 24:7. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation." Right, World War III. You've seen all these countries building up to the full-blown World War III. Basically, we're already in it. Okay, they just haven't publicly announced that we're officially in World War III like they have in the past. But we're basically in it, man. It says, "In kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." Diverse places goes into heavy populated areas. So famines is one of them. The key was the point I was talking about. Yahweh Shai said that there will be famines. Okay. This is Ezekiel 4:16. It says, "Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment." Right, man. So the Lord is going to break the staff of bread. He did that in Jerusalem in the past, in times of history when we went off. Okay, but it's going to happen again. You know, in Jerusalem, today, modern day, the real is a people. You have the physical place of Jerusalem. That place is completely defiled and gone. But Jerusalem, representing Hebrew Israelites and Israelites, okay, those are the so-called blacks, the so-called Latinos, and the so-called Native Americans today. Those are the real Hebrew Israelites. So where those people reside, that curse is going to hit. The Lord is going to break the staff of bread. And why is he going to do that? Because our people are extremely, extremely terrible, really, really wicked. 2/3 of our people, 66.6% of us, are evil and wicked. Okay? It says, "And they shall eat bread by weight," right? You're going to have to count every penny. I was going to the store and I was really having to count every single thing and total up before I went to the register because I want to make sure that I had enough because that's how expensive shit is. I've gone to the store and bought like 6 items one time. And normally them 6 items used to run me back in the day like maybe a total of $10 tops for what I picked out. And no matter what, each time I go to the store now, at a bare minimum, it's 3 to 4 times that, every single time. So it's stressful, man. This is Ezekiel 7:19. It says, "They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of wrath of Yahweh. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity." Okay? So they're going to throw their silver in the streets, their money in the streets, man. It's going to be useless eventually. Can't get nothing with it. This stuff is going to be that expensive. It's not going to help you in the times to come. When you got enemy troops, boots on the ground in America, invading, nobody's going to care about money at that point. They're going to care about how they're going to survive this attack that's about to happen. Okay? It's not going to be able to save you or protect you in the times to come. You're going to see actual other military troops on parachutes coming down in this place. Go watch that movie. What was it called? Yeah, here it is. Red Dawn. Okay, this is the 1984 version, but they remade it a few years ago. Okay, and instead of Russia invading America, it was I believe it was China that invaded, or it might have been Korea. I can't remember. They remade it though, but the original one was really good. And it showed you them parachuting in to the United States, and started unaliving people and putting them in concentration camps. That's all coming in real life to America, man, and probably in this lifetime, the way it's looking. Okay, they're gonna need everybody's effort to help in the war. So there's gonna be a draft, and people that don't get drafted, they're gonna be forced into work camps over here. Everybody's gonna have to work to help make ammunition. Like they're already talking about how they're running out of defense missiles over there in the Middle East to stop the drones or missile attacks. They're running out because they've been getting rope-a-doped by Iran, man. Iran's been using drones that cost them $50,000, and the United States has been using a missile to, counterattack it or blow it out the sky that costs $6 million. So they don't have a limited amount of those. They're too expensive. Okay, so we in these times, man. So your gold and silver isn't going to be able to do anything for you when that type of stuff kicks off. Now, yes, there will be a demand for silver and gold. It maintains its value, over time. Once people get in a situation where things calm down and there's not as much battles going on, and they can actually try to trade with one another without worried about being unalived, that's when they could potentially try to use currency such as silver and gold again. But who really has access to all of that? It's all been confiscated by the government, and they claim that they had a vault where they kept all that stuff. That place is empty, man. Ain't no money there. Esau don't clean that out. So money ain't gonna be able to save you, man. If you want to be saved and delivered, then you need to have divine intervention from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You have to have heavenly protection for you. And if you ain't been living right, you've been wicked, and you've been scoffing and scorning, then you're not going to get none of that protection, because judgment's on the way, man. I think Trump recently gave an ultimatum to Iran. They got 48 hours to do what he asks, and if not, he's going to begin attacking their power grids and power supply, and that's going to unalive a lot of people. So what you think's going to happen over here in retaliation? They got sleeper cells here. They're going to do the same shit. So stay prayed up, man. Pay attention to what's going on. So with that, Lord's will, lessons edifying. I'm going to go ahead and close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim HaKadash. Double honors to our apostles, elders, great millstone, touches truth will well, and say to hope, like person's truth and honesty, sincerity. Shalom.